Yeah, good morning and good afternoon, good evening also. Uh, Next meeting will be our midterm examination. So I just choose to have a review for everything that we have discussed during the midterm period. Okay, let's begin with the e-portfolio. What is a portfolio or what is a learning portfolio? It is a collection of student works that exhibit students' effort, progress, achievements, and competencies gained during the course. Now, an electronic portfolio or e-portfolio is a digital archive that can contain the same materials as a physical portfolio or folder, but can have much more. Because it is an e-portfolio, it can contain multimedia productions, online links or references, digital stories or video blogs, PowerPoint or presentations, photographs, and other ICT materials. What are the parts of an e-portfolio? Of course, you should have a home page, and then you should have pages, no? And the pages, of course, are unlimited. And then you should have personal or written reflections. Now, Give has given us the 6 stages of a reflective cycle. The first is description, which means what happened. What is the topic, what is the event, or what is the activity. The second stage is your feelings. What were you thinking or feeling when you face or when you listen to a lecture, when you do something. Okay, and then the third would be the evaluation. What was good and bad about your experience, either in the lecture or in the activity. The fourth would be analysis. What sense can you make of the situation? No, analyzing a certain topic, analyzing a certain event or something that you did. What is your or what can you make sense of it? Okay, and then the conclusion. What else could you have done? Now, if your conclusion is that you have well understood, have done perfectly the activity, then you do not do any longer the action plan. But if there is something that you want to learn more, you should do the action plan. So this is called Gibbs reflective cycle. How do you create an e-portfolio using Google Sites? First of all, enter your Gmail account and look for Google Sites. And when you are already there, click it and it will lead you to another section that will let you create a site that you can use as an e-portfolio. And of course, consider a good label or title for your e-portfolio. So, how do you judge or how do you evaluate or assess your e-portfolio? I just copied it, and the categories are selection of work samples, which means what are the selected documents found in the e-portfolio. And the levels of performance can be inadequate, apprentice or beginner, competent, and exemplary. Since that is an e-portfolio, it is good also to use some multimedia. And then your reflection is considered a very important part of your e-portfolio. and creativity and purpose, and the ease of navigating the text elements and others. So, in a sense, you need to evaluate whether your e-portfolio is good or whether the compilation or the documents you put in your e-portfolio are worth having. Now, the second topic for the midterm period is the collaborative tools, online learning, and social networking. And there is the difference, of course, between studying during my time, no, and now. And basically, it is on this area of collaborative online tools and also social network platforms. What are the sample collaborative tools in the digital world that we studied? Okay, we have the Skype, the Wiki, the Google Groups, and blogging. We go now to online learning or online distance education. Actually, distance education have been practiced for some time ago, no? Years ago. But with the advent of ICT, computer, internet, distance learning is now delivered via computer-based, or we call it online learning or e-learning. And this made classrooms borderless and learning boundless. What are the sample different platforms you can find in the internet or what we call learning management systems? And we discussed five: the Moodle, Google Classroom, Edmodo, Schoology, and the Massive Open Online Course, or the MOOC. There are basically two kinds of activities in online distance learning. No? The first is the so-called asynchronous. This is when questions or tasks are posted and course participants answer the question or post their reply anytime most convenient to them. They can still participate in the discussion by replying on or to the post of the teacher. The synchronous type of activities, no, in distance learning is the so-called synchronous, where participants meet in a virtual classroom and discuss a topic in the lesson. So wherever they are situated in the world, they agree on a scheduled session and log in to join the. I think the idea is having a live class. Okay. We still in the online learning, no? There are six models of blended learning. The first is the face-to-face. Second is rotation, and then the flex or the flexible learning, the online lab, the self-blend, and the online driver. Uh, and the last topic we discussed, no, for this session is about the social networking platforms. The Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Tumblr, MySpace, Flickr, and the so-called Bebo. Okay? We discuss also some safeguards in social networking activities that you do, no? In your case and in the case of many Filipinos, I think it's on Facebook, no? They are as follows: secure your own passwords, log out every time you use public computers, regularly check privacy settings, beware of online posts, and then do not accept invites from unknown contacts. Consider the effect of possible posts. Use appropriate language. No eyeball to eyeball, especially for our ladies. And then reports harassment, abuse, or bullying to friends or trusted adults. Then our third topic is actually digital literacies and digital citizenship. And we go over the digital literacies, no? Which include media, information, ICT, communication and collaboration, identity management, learning skills or how to study and learn in the internet, and digital scholarship, how to participate in professional works. There are 6 C's for the 21st century people, no? We need these skills: critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, character, and then we go to citizenship, which was the bulk of our discussion, no, in this third topic. We define the global citizen and a global digital citizen, and we combine that, no, global digital citizenship, because there are no countries in the internet, and we also use the internet. We must use it well. And I have here the characteristics of a good global digital citizen: advocating for equal human rights for all, treating others respectfully, not stealing or damaging other people, persons, or properties, communicating clearly, actively pursuing education, of course, and habit of lifelong learning, spending and managing responsibly, no? In the internet, upholding basic human rights, protecting self and others from harm, and promoting physical and mental health. We also have the 5 tenets of global digital citizenship, which include personal responsibility, global citizenship, digital citizenship, altruistic service, and environmental stewardship. And then there are elements. These are the things that you normally do, no? In the internet, accessing commerce, communication, literacy, etiquette, law, rights and responsibilities, wellness and health, as well as security. Part of the global digital citizenship is the so-called netizenship and netiquette. And it means that you really need to understand that once you use the internet, you are already a netizen. And as a netizen, you should have etiquette in using the network. And some of these netiquette rules are no yelling please, avoid sarcasm, don't abuse the chat box, attempt to find your own answers, no? Do not ask too many questions. Uh, Doing or speaking good with grammar, no? With good grammar. Be respectful, submit files the right way, read first, think before you type, and be very kind and professional. Part of the global digital citizenship is the copyright rules, no? An original author, original musician, composer have copyright rules. or copyright rights, no? No one can use their creation without their approval. But since all rules have exemption, there is an exemption which we call fair use, no? Which allow copyrighted material to be used under certain guidelines, no? Even without the copyright holder's permission, as long as you will attribute or acknowledge him, no? And this is very true for education. So, in education, we call this fair use as being controlled by the Creative Commons, no? And in the Creative Commons, we can use copyrighted writings, music, poems, and other things, but be sure that you do not violate these infringements, no, or violations. You alter or changes the original work, making copies for commercial purposes, making copies to avoid purchasing the original works, making copies outside of use for school, no, and classrooms, and you do not acknowledge where the original authors of the copyright materials. Okay. In the last session, we discussed growth mindset, which is basically a positive attitude and openness to learn. Okay. The profile of a modern teacher includes being vulnerable. We need to see ourselves now as co-learners, no longer as teachers. I think the best term would be facilitators, no? And we accept failures. We do not wait to be experts to introduce something, and we move into your world, though it is we do not ask you to move into our world, but a modern teacher moves into your world, no? And we do not hide our weaknesses. We are comfortable with not knowing what to happen soon, no? We even invite mistakes, and we dream big and ask why not, and many things. A growth mindset means that we are ready to have mistakes and to learn, but also given the right attitude and effort, we believe we can still learn. Okay. This is understanding that abilities and understanding can be developed. Okay? You do not say, I'm finished or I'm through, I do not know this, but you always say abilities and understanding can be developed and can be improved. Okay, this antonym or the contrary mindset is a fixed mindset, no? And that assumes abilities and understanding are fixed. And you say you have it or you don't, okay, when you come to abilities and talents. But now, a growth mindset means that you can grow, you can develop. And especially, no, we need a growth mindset because of the educational sites and portals and even digital tools that are so many. There are 8 categories of digital tools, no? Storytelling tools, bibliography or citation tools, photo and image editing tools, podcast tools, survey polls tools, sticky notes tools, stock photo tools, and testing and quizzing tool for teachers. Okay, so we have used this week just to review our midterm lessons, and I hope you will do well during our midterm exam next week. And God bless you, everyone, and always be safe.